the world seemed to pause for a moment. A new chapter for the Catholic Church was starting, and everyone was focused on Vatican City, especially the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. There stood Pope Tagle, ready to share his first message as pontiff, a message that would echo through history. The crowd was silent, and millions more were glued to their screens around the world. You could feel the anticipation in the air. It was a moment thick with history and expectation. This wasn't just a speech, it was a promise. Pope Tagle, who radiated humility and warmth, stood there like a beacon of light in uncertain times. He was a symbol of hope and compassion. As he looked out at the sea of faces, you could sense the excitement buzzing in the crowd. People had gathered from all over the globe, looking up at him with respect and eagerness. He carried the weight of centuries on his shoulders, with the legacy of those before him, the traditions and teachings, all resting on him. It was a heavy load, but he bore it with grace and dignity. The history of the papacy, with its ups and downs, was now part of his story. But instead of feeling weighed down, he seemed full of energy. There was a liveliness in his step and a spark in his eyes that showed his inner strength. It was like the weight of the past only made him more determined and committed to his mission. A gentle smile lit up his face, one that radiated warmth and kindness, reaching out to touch the hearts of everyone who saw it. In that moment, it was clear that Pope Tagle wasn't just a leader, he was a shepherd to his flock. His eyes sparkled with deep faith, having seen both the beauty and suffering in the world. Yet they were filled with hope, a hope grounded in a strong belief in humanity's goodness and God's mercy. When he spoke, his voice was soft but steady, bringing a sense of calm and reassurance. It was the kind of voice that could comfort even the most troubled hearts. Each word he chose was thoughtful, and every phrase was delivered with quiet conviction, reaching everyone in the vast square. The crowd hung onto his every word, as if the whole world had stopped to hear what he had to say. "My brothers and sisters," he began, his words echoing in many languages. There was something universal about his message, a feeling that it crossed borders and cultures. He spoke to the essence of what it means to be human, touching on the shared experiences and dreams that connect us all. Each syllable was filled with a deep love for humanity, evident in how he reached out to those in need and talked about compassion and understanding. His words were like a soothing balm for the weary and a source of strength for the downtrodden. He didn't shy away from the tough stuff either. He talked about the challenges facing the world, the issues that weigh on humanity, the conflicts and suffering that can't be ignored. He faced them head-on, recognizing the pain and struggles so many endure. War, poverty, and injustice cast long shadows, and those realities couldn't be brushed aside. But even in the face of such serious issues, there was a flicker of hope in his words. Instead of despair, he offered hope. Hope that was rooted in action, and the belief that change is possible. He emphasized the power of community and coming together to make a difference. Hope grounded in faith, love, and the endless mercy of God. It was a message that really resonated, reminding us that even in the darkest times, there's always a reason to believe. Pope Tagle had this way of shining a light on the path ahead. His words were all about holding on to hope and bringing people together. In a world filled with conflict, he made a heartfelt plea for peace. He encouraged everyone, believers and non-believers alike, to talk things out and choose understanding instead of division. He reminded us how we're all connected, how our lives are intertwined. His message hit home for many, especially in places struggling with war. His words brought a flicker of hope for peace in communities torn apart by hate and prejudice. He inspired people to reconcile and come together. Pope Tagle didn't dodge the tough issues the Church faces. Instead, he recognized the need for change, calling for a loving renewal that goes back to the core values of the Gospel. He stressed the importance of listening to marginalized voices, those who've been hurt by the Church. He promised to tackle the issue of clerical abuse openly and with accountability. His words sparked hope and conversation within the Church. Some felt his call for change was long overdue, while others were a bit wary about what the future might hold. One of the coolest things about Pope Tagle was how he reached out to young people. He got that they're facing some serious challenges in this fast-paced world. He spoke directly to their worries, dreams, and aspirations, inviting them to be active players in shaping the Church's future. He made it clear that they're not just the future. They're part of the Church right now. His message really resonated with young Catholics, making them feel seen and heard by their new leader. As Pope Tagle wrapped up his message, a profound silence fell over St. Peter's Square. It wasn't a silence of emptiness. It was more like a moment where everyone's hearts were touched by his words. Then, applause broke out, echoing around the world, from busy cities to quiet villages. People were watching, listening, praying, reflecting, and daring to hope. Pope Tagle's message crossed language and cultural barriers, speaking to the deepest desires of the human heart. In a world that often feels broken, his words painted a picture of unity and a way forward to peace. A reminder that hope can shine through even the darkest times. His first message sent ripples through the Catholic community. His words were both comforting and challenging, offering a vision of a Church that's both rooted in tradition and open to new ideas. His focus on unity, peace, and reform hinted at a fresh direction, one that calls for courage, compassion, and a willingness to tackle the complexities of today's world. His message stirred up a lot of discussion and debate within the Church. Some people were all in for his vision, while others urged caution and careful thought. As the world reflects on Pope Tagle's historic message, one thing is clear: his words have touched millions, crossing borders and cultures. His papacy seems set to be transformative, embracing both tradition and modernity. Pope Tagle aims to guide the Church through the twists and turns of the 21st century. With his strong faith, deep humility, and genuine love for humanity, he shines as a beacon of hope in a troubled world. In everything he does and says, he embodies compassion and understanding. Only time will show what the full impact of his papacy will be, but the seeds of change he's planted are already starting to grow, hinting at a bright future for the Church. Pope Tagle's message is all about unity and peace, and it's pretty clear that his words are going to stick with us for a long time. He's been inspiring people to look past their differences and really connect with one another. His legacy is all about building bridges, having conversations, and really committing to the Gospel's message of love and mercy. He's shown us that true leadership isn't about having power, it's about serving others and caring for their well-being. This kind of legacy gives us hope for a brighter future, both for the Church and the world. As we move forward, it's good to remember that the road to a better tomorrow is paved with faith, hope, and love. Pope Tagle's first message wasn't just some speech. It was heartfelt and really hit home for everyone who heard it. His words carried the weight of centuries of faith and brought a fresh vision for the future. It was like a prayer, a promise, and a call to action all rolled into one. His message wasn't just meant to be heard. It was meant to be felt deep down, stirring the hearts and minds of people from all walks of life. His words became a beacon of hope, guiding us through tough times and reminding us of our shared humanity. Even when things get tough, hope is still there. The sunset over St. Peter's Square marked the end of one chapter and the start of another, full of promise for a better tomorrow. The candles held by the crowd weren't just lights. They were symbols of their unshakable faith and resilience. His words continue to resonate in the hearts of millions, carrying a timeless truth that crosses borders and cultures. The inspired faces in the crowd showed just how universal his message is. It speaks to who we are and pushes us to be better and do better. He encourages us to build bridges of understanding in a world that can feel divided. His message is all about finding common ground and reaching out with open hearts and minds. The interfaith gatherings really highlight the beauty of diversity, working together for peace in our communities and beyond. His call to action transcends mere lofty ideals. It serves as a practical and actionable guide that can be applied to our everyday lives. It invites us to step into the role of peacemakers, urging us to actively foster harmony within our relationships and to play our part in building a more peaceful world. This message is not just about abstract concepts. It is about taking tangible steps toward creating a sense of unity and understanding among one another. Moreover, it emphasizes the importance of embracing a faith that is not only deeply personal, but also inherently inclusive. This faith welcomes everyone, regardless of their background or beliefs, encouraging us to recognize and celebrate the divine spark that resides within each individual we encounter. In a society that often feels fragmented and divided, Pope Tagle's message stands as a beacon of hope, calling us to bridge gaps and to see the beauty in our diversity. In a world that is constantly yearning for hope and connection, his teachings provide genuine nourishment for the soul. They remind us that our actions matter, and that by striving for peace and understanding, we can create ripples of positive change that extend far beyond ourselves. Through his guidance, we are inspired to cultivate a spirit of compassion and empathy, ultimately working towards a future where love and acceptance prevail. The hopeful faces gathered in St. Peter's Square, illuminated by the gentle glow of the sunrise over the Vatican, serve as profound reminders of renewal and the boundless possibilities that lie ahead. These faces, filled with anticipation and optimism, reflect a universal truth. No matter how deep the shadows may grow, the dawn will inevitably arrive, bringing with it fresh opportunities and new beginnings. Even during the longest and darkest of nights, the promise of a new dawn patiently awaits, ready to break forth and bathe the world in light. This cyclical nature of time, where night gives way to day, teaches us that there is always hope on the horizon. In this context, a single candle flickering against the encroaching darkness emerges as a powerful symbol of hope and resilience. It reminds us that even the smallest source of light possesses the remarkable ability to push back against the overwhelming shadows. Moreover, this imagery extends beyond mere illumination. It serves as a poignant reminder that even the tiniest acts of kindness can resonate deeply, creating ripples of change in the world around us. Just as that single candle can brighten a room, so too can a simple gesture of compassion uplift a spirit and inspire others to do the same. In the grand tapestry of life, every individual has the capacity to be a beacon of light, demonstrating that hope and resilience can flourish even in the face of adversity. Thus, let us carry this message with us, cherishing the power of light, kindness, and the ever-present promise of renewal that each new day brings. We're looking at a dawn filled with the promise of unity, peace, and the power of love. The sunrise lighting up St. Peter's Square, and the people embracing in front of the basilica are beautiful images of hope and connection. They remind us that we're all part of a bigger story, one of love, compassion, and the enduring power of hope. So, if you want to dive deeper into these insights, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, God Always, for more engaging videos and intriguing content.